the Zera Shimshon life-changing explanation. First of all, our Divrei Torah tonight and every Thursday night is the Hilul Nishmat הבחור הצעיר שנפטר בדמי ימיו, רחמת כל המונה אליעזר, בן אנג'לה הכהן, למשפחת ליאור. רוח אדוני תלכם בגן עדן, תהיה נשמתו צרורה בצור החיים. Second, our Divrei Torah is going to be להצלחתכם. The Zera Shimshon promised that anyone that studies his book, we said it many times, the reason that the class of Zera Shimshon is so unique and important is not only because you're going to hear Divrei Torah that you never heard before. Unreal, brilliant. But it's not only because it's brilliant, it's not only because it's out of the box. It's mainly because he promised that anyone that study my books will get married, will have children, righteous children, and will have long life and healthy life and happy life and parnasa. Why did the Zera Shimshon promise so much? Because he had no children. He had one child that died and he died. So he had no children. And the only way to make him alive is by us studying his Divrei Torah. So this is one. Because we study the zchut of Zera Shimshon, the Almighty God will protect all of us by Zera Hashem, that this year we're going to hear Kol Sason v'Kol Simcha, Kol Chatan v'Kol Kala. This year we're going to hear B'ezrat Hashem, Parnasa b'Shefa, Arichut Yamim, Shanim Tovot, שפע, בריאות, הצלחה, והריקותי לכם ברכה עד בלידיים, וכן יהי רצון ולומר אמן. אמן. Okay, the first Torah I'm going to start, something that I did in one of the mornings, and one of the morning in the week is a beautiful Torah. Beautiful explanation. The pasuk said, "Vayira elav vayipol al tzavarav." I'm going to jump in it, but we're going to get to know the first explanation. Like this. Yaakov Avinu coming in and is meeting after 22 years. They meet once again. Who is meeting? Yosef HaTzadik Yaakov Avinu. 22 years, your own child is missing you. And you miss your own child. 22 years, your child is dead and then coming back alive. 22 years that the father do not sleep at night. What exactly happened in the airport? Did you ever went into Israel, ladies? Did you ever went into Both Right or any project? Guys, did you went ever to Yeshiva in Israel? Beautiful. What exactly happened when you're coming back after 1 year?
I didn't go for a year, just when they're 1 week, 2 weeks at a time.
No, it was short. If you're going in for 1 year, my daughter went into Australia for 1 year, and I miss my daughter so much that I bought ticket all the way to Australia. I went in, and you know, for me, I hate flying and I hate driving. And for me to fly 21 hours, this is a nightmare. And all the way, I remind myself, I'm doing it for my daughter, I'm doing it for my daughter. My son right now is in Hong Kong, and I'm going once again after 6 months. Next month I'm going to be in Hong Kong for 1 week, just to go to visit my son, to show them that they are very important in my life. And this is 6 months. After 1 year, you see the parents with tears, balloons, flowers, like they didn't see each other for 20 years. Yaakov Avinu didn't see his son, not for 1 year, not for 2 years, 22 years, and a son that he was dead, and he came back alive. You know what I mean? The son. What the excitement, right? What the excitement. Do you know what exactly happened? Yosef HaTzadik is coming and hugging. He's kissing. He's kind. What Yaakov Avinu is doing? Kriyat Shema. Shema Yisrael. I don't understand. The Gemara is asking, the Midrash is asking, Yaakov Avinu, he didn't find a better time to say Shema Yisrael. I don't understand. Now you say Shema. Why now? Now don't tell me that it was the time of Shema. Ladies, gentlemen, do you know that every morning we have times that you have to do Shema? Right? Because if it was the time, how come Yosef didn't do it? Yosef didn't say Shema. So it cannot be that it was obligation. Yosef was a tzaddik. We call him Yosef a tzaddik. So why Yaakov is doing Shema? after 22 years, you wait 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Two answers. One answer that I saw before, one answer that the Zera Shimshon, brilliant answer. The answer that I saw before is very few times that you can devote the greatest gift in your life to God. You know how difficult it is to give the greatest gift? When you're making a great business deals, usually nobody is giving all the money to donation, right? You're giving 10%, 20%. Imagine yourself tomorrow you win the lottery and you said all the money is going to charity. It is. Did you ever saw something like this? To give the greatest moment in your life, you win, you just won $150 million, and you decide, you know what, I'm giving it to God. God is more important from everything, from anything and everything. I'm giving everything to God. Wow. Usually, never happen. Usually, it's almost impossible for a human being to do it. Yaakov Avinu had a moment that will never be back in history. You know, when you celebrate your bar mitzvah, that bar mitzvah is going to be a moment that will never be back in history. The Brit Milah that you celebrate, but nobody remember, because of that I didn't mention Brit, is a moment that will never be back in history. Ladies, the wedding that you're going to do is going to be a moment that will never be back in history. Never. So I tell people, physically and spirituality, physically, in your wedding, be happy. I don't care if they put 12 kinds of salad or 15 salads, and they're missing 3. You know, I saw weddings, groom and a bride fighting in the day of the weddings. Fighting with the waiters, fighting with the owner of them. I don't understand, this is the time to fight. This is the best day in your life. Instead of having smile and be happy, what do? You're busy. The flower is like this, the flower is not like this. Do you know how many mistakes you're going to have during the day of the weddings? With the pictures, with the flowers. Prepare yourself. This is the best day in your life. You miss that day, that's it. Nobody will do the weddings again. Amen? Enjoy it. Enjoy it. The dress fit or not fit. The flower is good. You don't care. You came today to be happy. One time in life. Do you know what it means to devote? To devote, the greatest moment is to take the day of the weddings and said, I know that I want to get married, and I know I want to do it mixed dancing. It's so important for me, but you know what, God? The best day of my life, I give it to you. I'm not doing mixed dancing. I'm doing it for you, God. The greatest moment in my life, a day that I want to go to dance to make balagan. No. I'm giving it to you. How difficult is that, huh? I deal with this almost every week with parents that over their dead body. No, Rabbi. It's going to be either that or either we don't show up at the weddings. And not only we don't pay it. Not mixed dancing. What is this? Black heart, religious, we're losing it. Kaddish. The greatest moment in your life. Yaakov Avinu had a moment. This moment. A moment of hero. A moment that everybody is waiting in his life. A moment that the love is the greatest. The greatest love that a human being can capture. The greatest love. 22 years not to see your son. A son that is dead. Now he came back alive. And now you can show your son a love. You can give him a hug and a kiss. You can cry. And what do? He said, can you hold a second? I want to give this love to God. Shema, Borei Olam, I love you. What now? Because a minute later, I'm losing the moment. This is the moment. The moment that I want to prove God that He is above anything else. Above my wedding, above my son, above my husband and wife, above my business, above anything. I don't remember the stories. The name of the person, I remember the story very well. I don't remember the name of the guy. I know that one of you will help me. It was a guy from South Africa, I believe. He was invited by Microsoft. You know who invited him? Bill Gates. Bill Gates himself called him to give lectures, to be the keynote speaker. The keynote speaker in Microsoft event. Do you know, once a year, Microsoft is doing convention. Only Microsoft, I don't know, 40,000, 100,000 people. All the work of Microsoft going in either to Vegas, or either to Orlando, or either to China, 3 places in the world. They're major. Vegas in America is 2 places, Vegas or Orlando. I believe that he was in Vegas. And he was supposed to be, his name is Mike Barnett. He wrote a book, one of the most best-selling books in our generation. Mike Barnett, something.
Gary Barnett.
Gary Barnett. Yes, he's a Jew. Now he got the offer. The offer was maybe $100,000 to $100,000. 1 hour speech. If I get such an offer, I love you. Happened to be that Gary Barnett is a Jewish, and he's not only Jewish, he's not a rabbi, speaker, but he's religious. Baruch Hashem. He called Microsoft, and he already agreed, but he didn't look in the calendar. He called Microsoft and said, I'm sorry, I have to cancel it. So what do you have to cancel it? Now they thought that they want to negotiate. No, because that day is Shabbat. Okay, I'm not speaking in Shabbat. What do you mean not speaking in Shabbat? Who said no to Microsoft? I don't understand. Who said no to $100,000, 1 hour speech, 45 minutes? They said, okay, 200,000. He said, I don't understand what you didn't understand. I said, no. He said, no, $500,000. $500,000 they offer him. He said, I'm sorry. I said, no. They gave him a checkbook and they said, write whatever you want. We're Microsoft. If we need to pay $1 million, we're going to pay. It's very important for them that he's going to be there. Nothing. You know what you mean? The greatest moment in your life to give to God? This is the moment. The moment of greatness. The moment of greatness is when you take the greatest moment, the moment that you can make the highest level of money, you said, no, I give everything to God. No? Do you know what Microsoft did? Unreal. They changed the whole convention to make the big event, the center, on Sunday, the first time. The big event in any convention, I know because I was a rabbi in Hong Kong, is on Shabbat. They changed it to Sunday. Microsoft changed the date because the speaker was so important. When they shared it with Mr. Bill Gates, he said, this is what's happening when you meet people, that their faith is much greater from anything else. People that you cannot buy with money. The greatest moment. Yaakov Avinu said, I have a greatest moment of love, the highest level. Before I'm going to give it to a human being, I will give it to God. At that moment, Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. I'm getting married, I will do a wedding kasher. Doesn't have to be separate wedding, but have to be separate mix. A dancing. Dancing, separate. I will dress modesty. I will welcome God to my life, because this is the greatest moment in my life. And God, I will give you the greatest moment. I'm not going to give you the cheap moment. Do you know what I mean, the cheap moment? The cheap moment means that it's not cheap, but how difficult is to wake up in the morning to minyan? Right? To come to Arvit, to minyan, to come to Shir Torah at night, it's nice, beautiful. What you're doing is incredible, but it's not the hardest. Ask the guys. What is more difficult, to come at night or to come in the morning? To wake up 6 o'clock in the morning was nets. What do you want? Not sleeping. You see, the greatest moment. One reason. Second reason is, the Zera Shimshon right? Different reason. The reason of the Zera Shimshon, why Yaakov Avinu decided to do Kriyat Shema in that day, in that moment, listen to this. The Pasuk said, Anochi esmach b'Hashem. I will be happy with Borei Olam. And Shema Yisrael ve'echad emotiot esmach. Do you know what it means? I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be happy. How will I rejoice when I'm coming closer to Hashem? How do you say rejoice in Hebrew? Rejoice. Esmach. Aleph, Shin, Mem, Chet, right? Come the Zera Shimshon and write. They have two letters that when you combine them, you get the letter Esmach. Which letter? Shema and Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Right? How do we start Shema? Shema Israel, right? We start with Shema. We finish Hashem Elokeinu Hashem. Beautiful. We start with, if you combine the beginning of Shema and the end of Shema, you get into the lucky word. What's the lucky word? Rejoice. How do you rejoice with God? How do we God? Shema, we have the Shin, right? Right?
Yes.
We have Shema, Shin. Mem, we have the Mem, right? Shema, we have the Shin and Mem. And then Echad, we have Aleph and Chet. Aleph, Chet, Shin, Mem, together is what? Esmach, rejoice. Which two letters is extra? Which two letters is extra?
Ayin and Dalet.
Ayin and Dalet. By the way, you know how you know that they're extra? They're big letters. If you're going to see the way that the Torah said Shema and Echad, the Dalet is big and the Ayin is big. Come to Zera Shimshon and give us explanation why. Why the Ayin is big and the Dalet is big? Because to be rejoiced, but in order to be rejoiced, you need Dalet. What's Dalet? Ladies, what is Dalet? Arba'a, Ami Yodeya. Arba'a, Ani Yodeya. Arba'a.
No.
Thank God. Wow, I was hoping that you could answer. Arba'a, Imaut. Can you do anything without our four mothers? No, right? So Arba'a, Imaut. Because of that, we have Esmach. Who's going to be happy? The Arba'a, Imaut and the children that came from Arba'a, Imaut. So what do we have left? Ayin. Why the Ayin is big? So why the Ayin is not part? Come, the Zera Shimshon right. Avraham Avinu was the masterpiece of Chesed. The masterpiece of Chesed. Kindness, hospitality. You know how many gates of Chesed we have? You know how many gates? How many doors? How many rooms? How many breaches of Chesed we have? Do you know how much? 70 breaches. So Avraham Avinu can respond what? Ayin. Ayin is 70. The Ayin of Avraham Avinu. Second, Yitzchak. Yitzchak symbolizes what? Not Chesed, Din. How many rabbis we have in the biggest court? Din meaning judgment. To be in the courthouse. What's the name of the biggest court in Israel? Sanhedrin. How many rabbis in Sanhedrin?
70.
No? 70. Number one is the president. He's not like, I believe in America, they have, how do you call it? The vice president is not in the White House, not in the Senate. In the Senate?
Yeah.
The House of Representatives. So the vice president is not included. He is one of the top. Okay? The same way. We have 70 rabbis. So Yitzchak represents what? Ayin. Avraham Ayin, 80 bridges of kindness. Yitzchak Ayin. What's the Ayin of Yitzchak? The 70 judges. And Ayin of Yaakov. Yaakov is the first one this week parsha that coming down to Egypt. How many people came down to Egypt?
70.
Beautiful. Ayin and Dalet. Anochi esmach b'Hashem. What a profound explanation. This is one explanation. Now let's hear this one. Oh, this one. Daniel, you never saw something like this. Why? ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהכל נהיה בדברו. This one is like this. I will share with you a story, midrash, and then I'm going to give the explanation of the Zera Shimshon. The story is as follows. You remember when the brother came down? The brother came down, and then Yosef HaTzadik, I'm just giving an introduction for the ladies or the gentlemen that was not involved in the last week parsha. Last week it was Neketz, this week is Vayigash. Now, Yosef HaTzadik is telling the brother, who are you? Where are you coming from? Because he suspects them. You know why he suspects them? They came from 12 gates. Each one of the brothers came from a different gate. Usually who come separated? Spies. Or spy, or somebody that hide something for immigration. You know that? That you ever went into Israel with your family? And you pass few electronic stuff and money. What do? You send your wife alone, 20 minutes later, you come, like you and your wife have nothing to do with each other. You're going to the temple? What exactly? Don't think that the Israelis, they can smell it from a mile, they can see. And then the son, Abba, don't say Abba next to them again. Why you call me Abba? Not now. Wait for a minute, the son is here. Now, this is what we do. To come from 12 different gates. So he suspected them. He knew who they are. They're the American. So he said, where are you coming from? They share with them story, naive. They say, we are from Israel, we are Jews, we are the children of Yaakov Avinu. And so, okay, how many brothers do you have? They said, we have 11. 11? Who is 11? Binyamin. Binyamin. Okay. So if you want food, and if you want to get anything from Egypt, you have to bring me Binyamin. Because if not, you are spy. Why? Go and convince Yaakov Avinu. Go and convince Yaakov Avinu. He lost Reuven, and not Reuven, Shimon is in the jail. Yosef disappeared for 22 years. Now another child. It was a big fight with Yaakov. He didn't want to do it. Reuven tried to convince him, nothing. Yehuda came and said, I'm taking full responsibility. Anything happened to the child, I'm taking responsibility. He sent the child. What exactly happened with the child? When they came in, he gave them unlimited money, he gave them unlimited wealth. And he told his son, I believe Menashe, go quietly, put the gavir, the cup that I'm using to be like a magician, put my cup of wine and the bag of Binyamin.
Goblet.
Yeah?
The goblet.
How do you call it?
Goblet.
Goblet, you call it? Yeah? Okay. Now, put it over there. Now, a minute that he started to leave out of Egypt, he's chasing them and he said, listen, anyone stole my goblet? They said, no, nobody. He said, you remember, anyone that will steal it will be dead. We can swear that none of us stole it. They start to look in the bags. What did they find the goblet? Well, Binyamin. So they came and said, no, we are going to stay. He said, no. All of you free. Instead of killing Binyamin, I'm going to make him a slave. I'm supposed to kill him, but I'm going to make him a slave. And in this week, the story continues. Vayigash elav Yehuda. Yehuda is coming to war. So what? You're taking Binyamin? I'm coming to destroy Egypt. Is either me or either you. One of us, how many times you saw guys, not ladies? I don't know, now generation, even ladies cannot get this. But normal ladies, never argue, but never fight, physically fight. But a man, a minute that you get a man upset, what is it? Let's step outside. Two people coming out, only one person come back. And it's not you, it's me. So Yehuda said, it's either you or either me, that's it, finish it. So listen to what the Midrash writes. And the Zera Shimshon bring it, beautiful Midrash. The Midrash writes, it was an argument. It was a debate. It was loud, screaming argument. Yehuda said, you are like Paro. What do you mean by Paro? And I will kill you. How am I going to kill you? I'm going to take a sword and I will cut you to pieces. I will kill you with my sword. What do Yosef respond? Don't worry. I'm going to take the sword and I'm going to make it around your neck. He's telling them, I'm going to kill you with the sword. And what's the answer of Yosef? I will take the sword and I'm going to rip, how do you call it? Wrap it around your neck. And Yehuda continue. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to open my mouth and I'm going to swallow you. How do Yosef respond? I'm going to put stone in your mouth and I'm going to shut up your mouth. I'm going to fill up your mouth with the stone. And then Yehuda continue. I mean, what I'm going to tell my father? What I'm going to tell my father? If you're not going to let us go back with Binyamin, what I'm going to tell my father? He said, tell the father that the robe follow the dli. You know, dli bucket. You know, in the old time, the way that they used to bring water, it was a robe and a bucket. And the water was in the well. So he said, tell your father that the robe followed the bucket. Ladies, gentlemen, did you understand anything that they said? Did you understand what's the meaning? First of all, it looks like a child fight. I will open my mouth, I will swallow you. The guy said, I'm going to put stones, I'm going to put so, I'm going to surround you. What is this? And B, what's the explanation of all of this? Listen to the Zera Shimshon. I said that a life-changing message. Wow. Zera Shimshon writes like this. Yehuda said, I'm going to come with sword and I'm going to kill you. What is a sword in Judaism? Anyone know what is a sword? Sword have two meanings. When we said that we're going to go out with a sword to war, what is a sword meaning? Do you know what's a sword meaning? Two meaning. One meaning is physical sword. Physical. The whole time they used to fight with a sword. Second meaning, anyone know what is a sword? Ki becharbi ubekashti. I went out with the sword and bow and arrow. What is a sword in religion? Tefillah. Tefillah considered to be a sword. You know tefillah? When you pray, come Yehuda and said, I'm going to pray and my tefillah will get you killed. Do you know why? Because you're like Paro. What is Paro? Do you remember when Paro kidnapped the grandmother of Yehuda? What's the name of the grandmother? Sarah Imenu. What exactly happened to Paro? What exactly happened to him, ladies? He became leprosy. And a leprosy human being considered to be dead. He said, the same way that my grandmother, Baby Cologne, prayed, and your grandfather become dead, I will use my sword to kill him. How that Yosef answer him? He doesn't know that this is Yosef. Yosef said, you cannot use this method. This method you cannot use. You know why? I will tell you why. The pasuk said, ובפרסכם ידיכם, לא אשמע תפילתכם, ידיכם דמים מלאו. Meaning, God will not respond to your prayer. Do you know which, the only people that God will not respond for sure to their prayer, you know is it? Murderers. People that kill someone, ידיכם דמים מלאו. Your hand full of blood. I'm not accepting your tefillah. Yosef HaTzadik is telling Yehuda, you sold yourself. You tried to kill him. And then you sold him. You consider to be murderers. Your tefillah is not affected. Beautiful, huh? Daniel, you hear that? The story is not ridiculous. It looks like a fight between two children. No. The fight is much deeper. He's talking to him. We don't understand. Midrash, what is Midrash? He's talking to him gibberish. No, he's not gibberish. They got the message. Yehuda said, I'm going to use prayer. He said, you cannot use prayer. Because a minute that you kill someone, your prayer doesn't affect it. God is not listening to you. Second, what did he say? So what I'm going to do? I'm going to open my mouth and I'm going to swallow. What's the meaning? I'm going to open my mouth, meaning, what is the reason that Yosef want to take Benjamin? What exactly Benjamin did bad? What exactly? Why Yosef want to take Benjamin? What exactly Benjamin did bad?
Stole.
He stole what?
The goblet.
The goblet. He stole the goblet, right? So, what's the problem? Yehuda said, I'm going to say that I stole it with my mouth. That's it. How many times when you see people that made the accident and one of the family members jumped into the front, said, I'm the one that killed him. Not him. Tell me, can you blame the other one? No, right? Can you blame the other one? No, right? That's it. I accepted myself. I said, I stole it. I'm going to tell Egyptian court. I'm going to tell the court. I stole it and I put it in the bag of Benjamin. Benjamin doesn't admit. I admit. So that's it. The case is closed. Send Benjamin and put me with my mouth. I will swallow you with my mouth. What's the answer of Yosef? What the negotiation? What the negotiation? And later you hear that? Well, how did you answer something? He said, by the way, when exactly, I'm going to ask you a question. Anyone that knows the answer will get free breakfast, one breakfast, oven press, anything you want. Mr. Niazov, Shlomo is in a good mood today. Shlomo Niazov. Last week it was a good week. Actually, even though he's not in the jewelry business, he had a good week. Baruch Hashem. Only the doctor suffered last week. All the patients went into the 47 to buy. Last week was a tough week for doctors. The whole year is good for them, but last week was tough. This week and last week was good for the jewelers. I see them, they come to synagogue, they buy anything you want. They buy the Ptichat Aron, they buy anything, they buy the closet himself, they buy everything. Why? It was a good week. Now, listen to the question. The question is like this. What's your name? Rafael. In which case, if you admit that you did a certain sin, we trust you. And in that case, we don't trust you. You can admit 100 times, we don't believe you. We don't believe you. I mean, I'm coming and I say, I did like this. Courthouse, do not judge me. I said I did it. Nothing. But, I said, I didn't give proof. If you give solid proof, I'm talking about, I just said. They have certain halachot that if you admit, you consider to be like 100 witnesses. And in certain cases, even if you admit, we don't take your word. Well, this Zera Shimshon, he wanted to, Which case? Gentlemen, today I'm going to make you. Ladies, which case your husband is talking to you, you have to believe him, your future husband, in which case you don't trust him? איך?
אחד הם בייסורים, ואין אדם מעצמו.
So in which case? One second. So which case you're not, wow, תלמיד חכם, okay? רפאל, אש, come, give me a hug. Why? You hear that? If somebody claimed that you stole money, somebody claimed that you did accident, and your brother, your father, no matter he jumped in and said, it's me, I did it. If there's no witnesses enough, we believe the one that said, I am. And money, or how do you call it in a fancy word? And not money, money issues, how do you call it, fancy word? Monetary items, we trust your word to obligate yourself. If you said, you stole money, I made accident, I did, we trust you. But they have one case that we don't trust you. Which kind? Case of a question of death or life. To come to the court and say, I killed someone, we don't. If there's no proof, we don't trust you. If the question here is between death or life, we don't trust you. And Adam Hasim Atzmo Rasham. We have a rule. A person do not put himself to be Rasham. I'm sorry. We don't take your word, even though that you said, we don't believe him. I'm sorry. Come, Yosef and telling Yehuda, you want to come to admit that you stole the money. Okay. If it was only money issue, I agree with you. But what did I tell you before I looked? What did I tell you? Anyone that I find the goblet, what is his punishment? Death. Your word doesn't count. I'm sorry, you cannot save it. You cannot save Binyamin. Because this is not a monetary items. This is a question of death or life. Beautiful, huh? Yosef is answering, I'm sorry, it's too late. I want them to be the slave. But my punishment was not slavery. My punishment was what? Death. You want to eat me? Your mouth is not good. You want to pray? You cannot pray because your hand full of blood. You want to kill me with your mouth? You cannot because your mouth doesn't count. So what am I supposed to do? So he said, Yehuda, he said, so what am I going to tell my father? Now that you locked me down twice, so I'm coming to my father. What did he say? What did he say? The robe went after the bucket. What's the meaning the rope went after the bucket? The explanation is like this. Do you know when exactly you have to be afraid what to tell your father? When all the